So I'm opening developer console, not in a new tab, like I'll open in a same page. So in a previous session, we saw the relationship queries, like how we can fetch like related accounts or related records from parent to child. Parent to child relationship we saw in a previous session. In today's session, we'll see how to query child to parent records. Okay, so remember, whenever you want to query the records from, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So now initially, like what we did, we queried a parent to child records. Means from the parent, we queried child record. Let's suppose we did like this. Select keyword, ID, comma, name. So let's suppose we are fetching from account. So from account, we are fetching these fields, let us assume. Okay. So we are fetching ID and name. Okay. So it will return ID and name of the account. Now for this, what I have to do is, so related to each and every account, will be having contacts also. I have to fetch those contacts as well. To fetch the contacts, what we have to do is, whatever the fields you want to query. Similarly, you can specify that. Select ID, comma, name from, so child object name we have to specify, right? So to specify child relationship name, like a child object name, we should not specify child object name. Here to specify that, wherever you establish a relationship, where will establish a relationship? On a parent or child? On child.
Child object, right?
Yes, in a child object, we'll establish a relationship, right? So we have to go to the child object. So I'm going to that child object. Under the child object, we'll be having fields. In the fields, whatever the lookup relationship field having, we have to open that field. There you can see child relationship name. So here you can see child relationship name. It is important. Okay. So we have to specify this name.
How to identify this name in the child object?
So in a child object, if you go to that lookup field, like in a, like here child is a contact, right? I came to child object, like a contact object. In the contact object, I am going to fields and relationship. So under this, we'll be having lookup field, right? Which we establish relationship with the account. So here it is a lookup field with an account. Okay. I am coming to that field. Under that field, you can see child relationship name.
Okay.
Okay. Understood or any doubts? Still.
Yeah, okay. For example, can you show any other object also? Like we created some custom objects, right? Like
Yes.
employee, company.
Yes. We'll
In
do
that
that. First,
also it will be
first
the,
we'll see this query, then we'll fetch that data. Okay.
yeah.
So here, what we are doing is we are fetching contacts details. So now what I am doing is I'm coming here, and here in place of object name, I'm specifying contacts, not contact. So contact means object API name. So here contacts means it is a child relationship name. Unknown error. Select ID, comma, name, comma. Oh, here I entered from 2 times. So actually one is inner from. So you can see ID, account name, and here you'll get all the related contacts for that account. Like that, you'll get all the accounts. Okay. So in this way you can do. Let's suppose we'll try same thing for custom objects. As we implemented custom objects, right, in a Salesforce, like we created custom objects like employee and company. Company and employee we created, right? So now, which is our parent? Let's suppose I want to fetch employee details from a company object. Sorry, company is a parent, employee is a child, right? So now initially what I'll do is I'll fetch company details. So it's a custom object. I'm taking this object name. Control C. I'm removing this complete query. The structure is same always. So select ID from object API name. So it's a basic way to fetch the field of company object. Okay. Then now whatever the fields you want to add, you can add it by going into this object. So I'm going to fields and relationship under this. So whatever the fields that I have to fetch, you can specify those API names. I want to fetch a name as well. Control C. So I'm specifying API name. Remember, whenever you want to fetch some fields data, we have to specify that field API name. So this thing will return me the output of the company records. So it will give company records to me. So now I want
The
to
structure
fetch,
is same, right? Field
yes,
name from the object API.
yes. Select field API names from object API name. So let's suppose if you
Yeah.
want to fetch a child records also, you have to specify that child query in a parenthesis. So here same thing. Select whatever the fields you have to fetch, you can specify that. Select ID, comma. So now I want to fetch employee details. So for that we have to go to employee object. So it's an employee object. So if you go to employee object, we related employee with the company. So company is a lookup relationship. We established a lookup relationship with employee and company. So under this employee object, I am coming to fields and relationships. I am checking that field relationship with a company object. So here master detail relationship, lookup or master detail, both are relationship fields only. We have to open that field. Once you open that field, you'll see object name and here you'll see API name, field API name.
Yeah, API name under field name.
So it's an
Start.
API name. We should not take API name. So we have to take a child relationship name. Here you can see. Here you can see, right? Child relationship
Okay.
name. We have to take this child relationship name. Okay. So there, like if it is a parent only, we have to specify employee directly. Okay. So if we are taking it in a like a reverse way, like a child to parent to child, at the time we have to take this one. Parent to child case, we have to take this one. But child to parent case, we have to take child relationship name.
Okay.
So after this, what I'll do is we have to specify we have to specify
Implies
child relationship
child
name.
relationship.
For this, we have to add underscore R, means
Okay.
related object data we are querying. Now it will give. So just we are fetching IDs only. That's why it is giving IDs. Is it clear? Any doubts on parent to child?
No. No, no, no.
Now we'll see child to parent. How we do child to parent. Child to parent means, let's suppose while querying employees data, I have to fetch company name as well. Okay. While querying company employee data, I have to fetch company name. Let's suppose initially we'll see standard query. So now what I have to do is select ID, comma, name, comma. Along with this, I have to fetch account name. So prior to that, we'll specify like we are querying the data related to contact. So simply I'm writing contact. Contact is an API name. Directly I'm writing that. So it will give me all the contacts present in a system. Now what I have to do is I want to fetch account ID as well as account name. To fetch account details, what we have to do is in a relationship fields, we'll be having that parent object name. Object API name we have to specify here. So account. So from this, what is the field value you want to fetch? So I have to fetch account ID. So that's why I'm specifying account ID. So it will give me account ID additionally. So you can see it is giving account ID. Let's suppose I don't want to fetch account ID. I want to fetch account name, or else I want to fetch account ID and account name both. Account dot name. See, it is giving account name as well. Like this, whenever you want to fetch a child records data from the parent, you have to follow this notation. Object API name and dot field name. This is a structure to fetch the data from child to parent.
Okay.
So now we'll see same thing for related object, so that you'll get an understanding, right? Like it's as it is a
Yes.
standard thing, we won't have any differences. So we'll see it for a parent object. Okay. So now what I'll do is similarly from an employee object, I have to fetch company details. Okay. Select ID, comma, name. Let's suppose I'll go to employee object, whether we'll be having name field or not. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in this we'll be having employee name. Yes, it is a name is an API name. I'm taking this one. So now, yeah, API name as I already specified there. Now from I have to specify object API name. So for the best practice for the install time, what you can do is you can go to object manager and the details you'll be having object API name.
API name. Yeah.
You can specify that for the best practice. I'm running this one. So now it will give all the employees details. Now from this, what I have to do is I have to fetch company details. To fetch the company
So
details,
company is a parent, right?
yes, company is a
Company is a
parent.
parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for that also, what you can do is you can come to fields and relationship. You can come to the related field. You can see this related field.
Yeah.
Under this related field, you can see field name. It is a field name, right? So I'm taking field
Yes.
name. So in case of parent object, I'm taking field name. So now here I'm adding field name, and additionally we have to add underscore R for the custom field.
Okay.
Okay. After adding underscore add, you have to add a field name. Let's suppose I have to fetch company name as well.
Okay.
I'm adding that. So you can see it is giving company name.
Yes.
Similarly, you can add additional fields. Remember, while adding the fields, as it is a standard field, that's why I added like name directly. If it is a custom field in this company, you have to add underscore C. Let's suppose if I go to company object now, fields and relationship. So here you can see company name. See, employee count. You can
Employee count.
So to fetch
Yeah.
this data, we have to specify this API name. So if you see name field, there is no extension in API name underscore C.
Right.
Okay. So you have to remember that. So let's suppose we have to fetch this thing as well. So
We need to give comma company, right? Or directly you can give
yes.
dot also.
Oh, sorry. We have to give comma, na? So it's a separate field.
Yes.
Fields are separated with comma.
Company underscore R dot employee underscore count underscore C. Yeah.
Fetching these details. So you can see it is given.
Okay.
So like this, you can write a child to parent queries as well. So now we'll see the aggregate queries. So the purpose of aggregate queries is grouping the record based on something will take help of aggregate queries. Okay. So to take help of aggregate queries, we'll use group by function. Let's suppose what I have to do is I have to group based on lead source. I want to group all the leads. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is select.
I go for fetching all the fields, it is star only, right?
No, here
SQL.
star won't work. We have to specify all field names. That is a
Okay.
SQL.
Specifically, we need to enter all the fields.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So now I want to group all the leads based on lead source. Okay. Select. What I'll do is I'll specify field API names of a lead source as it is a standard field. Lead source, comma. I want to count the unique names. Count of name from lead object. Here I'll take help of group by. Okay.
Okay.
So group by is the function which is used to group by some specific field. So I have to group the records based on lead source.
Okay. Can you just show me the lead object as well?
Yeah, I'll
I'll see
show
the
you. See,
field name.
here you can see. Yes, I'll show you. So as it is a standard object, as I know field names directly, that's I tried
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. Okay. As per the best practice, you can go to lead object and you can do this. So what I
Fields.
did is in this lead object, what I did is like I am fetching the leads based on the lead source. In a reports, we saw the reports concept, right? In the report, what we did.
Yes.
So if you group the records by some field, it will group like this only. So
Yeah.
similarly, if you are not technically strong to query the data with the SOQL queries, you can use reports as well. By using reports, and you can export the data and you can download this kind of data. All the fields information you can download. However, we are doing with the SOQL. Okay. Try to
Yeah.
practice same thing with the SOQL. So sorry, reports, so that you'll get a very good understanding of reports as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood this group by
Yeah.
query?
Yes, yes.
So now
In
we are
this
getting,
lead object, this field name is there, right? Lead source.
yes,
Can you show me that?
sure. So it's a lead object,
Lead.
and this will be having lead source. Here you can see lead source is as it is a pick list value. It will be having some values.
Okay.
So these are the values, pick list values under this. These are the active values. Web, phone inquiry, partner referral, purchase list, other. So here also you can see.
Based on this, the accounts are grouped. Okay.
Yes. So if you are creating new lead under web, that count will be incremented at web. Like that,
Yeah.
just we are querying the data. So now the next we saw the where class, right, in a previous session. The purpose of where
Yeah.
class is to filter the data, basically, isn't it?
Condition. Yeah.
Yes. So conditionally, if you want to filter the data, we'll take help of like a where class. So now whatever the query we wrote here, this query is said as an aggregate query. Aggregate query means it is giving the result of the summation, right? Like it is counting all the
Yes.
results and it is giving the output. This kind of queries are said as aggregate queries. In case of
Okay.
aggregate queries, we won't be able to use where class. So if you want to filter the
Okay.
data, which we are doing, which we are applying aggregate queries, if you want to filter the data based on count, let's suppose I want to get all the lead sources which are having count more than 5. So I have to apply the filter on this count. As it is an aggregate field, we won't use where class. On such cases, we have to use having.
Having
Okay.
count.
Count of that aggregate field name, we have to specify what is that aggregate field name. Count of
Count.
name, right? So it is an
Name.
aggregate.
Yeah.
It is giving aggregate result, right? So count of
Yeah.
name, Control C. On this, we have to apply a condition. If it is greater than 5. See, here we got a 4 also, right? So now we won't get that 4
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
It will give those two things only. So whenever you want to
Got
filter
it.
the aggregate queries, we have to take help of this having class. So far we saw having class, where class, and like and everything mostly we covered. Okay, so with these will be completed basic SOQL, like basics of SOQL. And with the SOQL, you have to remember this thing. Yeah, so initially we'll see the SOSL as well, basics of SOSL, and then again we'll come back to this thing. Okay. Now coming to the SOSL. SOSL is a completely different story. So to query the data in a SOQL, we use it select, right? But here, whenever you want to
Yeah.
query the data, we'll take help of find keyword. So SOSL, where it is used means, so whenever you want to fetch the data from this global search, at that time, this SOSL will be used. Okay. Whereas whenever you want to query the data from record list views on top of from we are searching the records, right? At the time, SOQL is used. So now,
Okay.
whenever you want to fetch some field data, we have to fetch the text field. Mostly, we have to specify data in the form of text. So now, what I'll do is, I want to fetch all the fields, all the object fields which are having test name. Now I'm running this. So it will give all the objects which are present in a Salesforce. So in the account object, it is giving account fields. So account IDs, whoever having the name test. So 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 5 accounts having 6 opportunities matching this thing, 1 company name, 1 employee, and a 2 list views, user 1. Like that, it is giving all the objects. Getting?
Okay.
It means it is searching in all the objects and it is giving the result. So the difference between
Yeah.
SOQL and SOSL is coming to the SOQL, we can apply for single object. Coming
Yeah.
to
SOQL, right?
SOQL, at a time we can fetch the data
From single object.
for of one object or object with its related objects. Isn't it? Related objects data also we can able to fetch, right? So we can do this. Whereas coming to the SOSL, irrespective of objects, whatever the object it might be, it will return all the objects data, irrespective of objects, isn't it? So now here it is returning all the objects data, right? Accounts, company, opportunity, so on. Similarly, now let's suppose I don't want to fetch all the objects data. I want to fetch only the lead object. And coming to the lead objects also, I want to search for specific field. So to search, to find with a specific field, I'll take help of in name fields. So in what I have to do is here company object, right? We'll be having employee. So let's suppose we'll take opportunity as a best example. So in a name field, in an opportunity name fields, which fields values you are checking, you have to specify like that. Let's suppose you are checking fields, you have to specify fields in name fields. I'm running this now. As it is checking in the name fields. So previously it will check all the text fields. Okay, all text fields means it will check name fields, email fields, description fields, everything it will check. But now we specified in all the objects, I have to check all the name fields only. And I have to return the output. Then next, let's suppose if you want to check for specific objects only, at the time what you can do is you can use returning class. Returning. So for which object you have to check, you can specify that object API name. So let's suppose I have to check for opportunity only. So now it will give only opportunity records. So previously it gave multiple objects data, right? Now it is giving only single object record.
Yeah.
So let's suppose for this object, I have to return multiple fields. So by default, we are getting only ID, right? But I want to get multiple field values. Okay. So to get multiple field values, what you can do is, beside this object name, in the parentheses, you can specify those field names. Let's suppose if you go to opportunities, so now coming to the opportunities, I'll take help of fields and relationships. So now whatever the fields you have to fetch, you can fetch it. Now let's suppose I'll check the name field is there or not. Yes, I want to fetch name. API name we have to specify now. So I'm fetching name.
Field name.
Yes, here I'm specifying field name. Okay, so after this, if you want to fetch any other fields data, we have to specify that field name as well. So we have to remove this filter. So which field we have to specify? Let's suppose I'll take help of amount field. Yes, I'm taking this field also. Okay, name and amount field I am taking. Name comma amount, like how many fields data you have to fetch, you can specify those field API names. You can see it is giving those fields data. So in the object name, if you don't specify any fields, by default it will return a record ID. Whereas if you specify the field names, whatever the field names you are specifying, it will return that data. In this, if you want to add ID also, you can add it. So however, in this way, you can write SOSL query. Any doubts on writing SOSL query? Similarly, at the same time, while querying opportunity fields records, if you want to, similarly, you want to fetch contact details as well. At that time, what you can do? With the comma, you can specify another object API name, contact. So coming to the contact, I
Field
have to
names.
fetch ID comma name, and we can close it. It will give that object
Okay.
results as well. You can see it's giving.
ID comma name.
So
Is the same.
ID comma name. So let's suppose we'll remove this and we'll see the data, and we'll fetch the opportunity. I will add opportunity as well. Okay. Control X. So we are not having contacts. It's saying, okay. It means that's why it is not giving anything. Let's suppose we'll try account. Okay, we had accounts now previously.
Yeah.
It's giving results. Okay. Similarly, we'll add opportunity to this. So the fields should be matched. Okay, we have extra
At
comma
last.
here. So it's giving two objects, accounts this side, opportunity this side. Like that, you can use SOSL queries. It is about SOSL queries. Okay. Any doubts on SOQL and SOSL?
General syntax, how we can remember for this SOSL?
So SOSL general syntax is very easy. So we have to use this structure. So first to find keyword you have to use, and whatever the field data
Common.
you want to query, you have to specify that field name, like whatever the text here, you have to specify a text with which text you are searching overall. Okay, so by default it will give you a complete result. Complete result means which result? Like all the objects data it
Whatever
will.
objects, whatever
Okay.
objects it has, it will come.
So let's suppose if you want to add fields, you can use in class, and fields name you can add here. Okay, after adding field names, let's suppose if you want to fetch any specific object details, you can add it returning object API names. So after specifying object API names, here what you can do is specific fields data you have to fetch. So how many objects data you have to specify? You can specify that many. In this way, you can do this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This is about SOQL and SOSL. Next session we'll see Apex classes and DML shipment. How we can take help of this SOQL queries in Apex classes. How to write these things in Apex classes. We'll see that in a next session. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll be uploading it in Drive as well, right? These things.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll go through it once before coming to the next class. I'll practice and I'll